Welcome to Click for IB Biology. In our study of the environmental stability and change, we are looking at the sustainability of the harvest, the sustainability or the impact of harvesting crops in ecosystems. There's a blank version of this presentation in PDF form down in the description, where you'll also find a quiz with 10 questions and answers that you can use to evaluate your own learning and progress. Sustainability implies that the resource harvesting does not exceed the rate at which that organism can replace itself or be regenerated in the environment. This is much like the environmental resistance which operates in natural ecosystems, in which the environment and competition and abiotic factors limit the population growth. Should these factors become too strong, then the population will begin to decline, the carrying capacity will be reduced. However, these impacts are due to human effects. An example of over-harvesting can be seen in the Atlantic cod. In the northwestern Atlantic regions off the coast of Newfoundland, the cod was subject to very intense levels of harvesting, such that their population began to decline rapidly. In the late 90s, a moratorium was imposed on cod fishing, and with the expectation that the population would actually rebound, showing resilience. This is not the case to date. The populations are only slowly recovering, and indeed has actually presented the opportunity for other organisms to occupy the niche which was previously occupied by the Atlantic cod. If we turn to a plant example of over-harvesting, then one which is local to my own environment is the harvesting of the Siamese rosewood. This is highly prized in the creation of furniture and of musical instruments. The wood is very dense and is of very, very high quality. Within the forests of Southeast Asia, including Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia, the tree has been significantly over-harvested, including illegal logging in many regions. As a consequence of this challenge to the sustainability of this species of tree, it has ended up on the endangered species list and has subject now to the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES, where its trade with other nations has been banned, and indeed internally within those nations. These are attempts, conservation attempts, on the regulation to create a more sustainable population of rosewood trees. The sustainability of any agricultural process should consider a number of items in that evaluation. One would be the concept of soil erosion, that harvesting does not result in the loss of soils due to rainfall and the washing of soil components off into rivers and lakes. Equally, this is true of the nutrients which are in those soils, that they are not leached out by the process of the sudden removal of large amounts of harvest. Many of the crops in the world are subject to the supply of fertilizers and other types of input in that form, and of course you may be aware that the runoff of these fertilizers into rivers and lakes can have an impact on those particular ecosystems as well. Many of the world's crop zones are also guilty of pollution due to agrochemicals. A fifth item that one should consider in evaluating the sustainability of any particular crop that might be used is the carbon footprint which is created by the growing and harvesting of that crop. Although the carbon dioxide will be fixed by the producer crop, there are some crops in which the actual production of methane overwhelms this particular carbon fixation, in which case, and an example of that is in something like rice production, where the paddy fields which growing their rice are guilty of producing high levels of methane. The next video in this topic of environmental stability and change is appearing here. There's a chance to subscribe to the channel should you like to do so. That would be appreciated. And our playlist is here so that you can check out the other videos in this particular topic.